Let's talk about what happened today with retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Michael Waltz, a former Green Beret commander. He's also a Fox News contributor. Thank you, sir, for being here today. And again, thank you for your service.
Oh, well, thank you. Wow, what an amazing day.
What a day indeed. And as we tried, we're waiting to hear more of an explanation from officials. We now know it wasn't a cyber attack. It wasn't a hack. Somebody hit a wrong button in a control room during a shift change that push alerted this out to everyone. So I just want to get your initial reaction when you heard this, what you thought.
Well, there's so many substantive areas that this really highlights. From the cyber element that you mentioned to where you draw the line between defense authorities and civil authorities to our ballistic missile defenses to, our overall policy with rogue states like North Korea and Iran seeking nuclear programs. So to answer your question, the first thing that jumped out at me was actually the cyber element. Was this a hack? What type of defenses do these local and state civil authorities really have on their network? And, in particular, North Korea, obviously there's a lot of focus on their nuclear program and their ability now to range the United States with an ICBM. But one thing that's not covered as much is actually their offensive cyber program. The North Koreans are one of the most capable in the world. They actually have programs where they groom kids from an early age as mathematicians and then kind of partition them off to be cyber warriors. They're considered some of the best behind, of course, American, Russian, and Chinese, but they have recently stolen South Korean war plans. They have all types of, we had the ransom for money across Europe. Recently we detected attacks on the U.S. grid. They have quite a capable cyber program. Then, of course, you have the nightmare scenario. All of us remember that grew up in the Cold War, the movie War Games with
right.
Matthew Broderick, to the ability to actually get inside our system. And what if this was Strategic Command or NORAD or our command and control systems for our nuclear triad that had some type of false alarm? So all of those things really jumped out at me. And then, of course, as a resident of Florida, someone who grew up in Florida during the Cold War, everyone that we knew had the duck and cover drills left over from the Cuban Missile Crisis. I remember buildings downtown marked with the big yellow nuclear signs to denote shelters. Mm-hmm. And it just, one more thing, are we moving back toward, that era with both a second Cold War with Russia and then these rogue states?
And people are asking that question, are we moving back to a time like that? And as we learn more about what the people of Hawaii have as their, emergency plan, which includes getting flat on the floor, staying away from a window, there's nowhere really to go. And we know now that, it takes, 15, 20 minutes for something to hit Hawaii if it were to come from North Korea. What do you think should be happening now with your expertise?
Well, so there's two pieces, and there's, people who obviously are true experts of this, but there's the survive the actual blast. If you are in